Hi, my name is ZIVELO and today's your lucky day. We are going to go through this C6 package and unpackage it and also install it. The entire elapsed time should take roughly 15 minutes, but you'll notice that we will be editing the video and compressing it to a shorter time span. The first thing you're going to want to do is open the box, which is pretty straightforward. You'll notice that there's tape. All you need is a box knife or some sort of a sharp edge, and you'll basically cut there. And open the box. Alright, so now that you have the box open, what you're going to want to do is remove the contents of the box. There's two pieces. You'll notice there's the actual ZIVELO public terminal accessories package, as well as the cardboard box that sits on top of the enclosure, which is the actual base plate for the enclosure. So the first box is the ZIVELO public terminal accessories. It contains the keys, drivers, and documentation for the kiosk. So you want to set that aside. The second box, as mentioned, is the base plate for the enclosure. So you want to remove that and also set that aside. Okay, so now that the styrofoam is out, you'll notice that I also removed the plastic wrap from the actual kiosk. So the next step is very critical. This is the step that actually reduces it from a two-man operation to a one-man operation. So what I'm going to want to do is actually lift the kiosk on top of the styrofoam so that I can take this base plate and attach the 6 studs into the bottom of the kiosk. So I'll show you that now. Make sure that you have adequate room. So to do that, you'll probably want to I'll push the kiosk out a little bit so I can get the base plate on. So I'm going to push the box. So you'll note that this is a very heavy base plate. It weighs roughly 50 pounds. What you want to do is you want to line up the studs into the holes on the bottom of the enclosure, like so. And there you have it. You'll notice that the base plate will stay on the actual enclosure without adhering it with the nuts because of the angle that the base plate is on the actual enclosure. The next thing you want to do is find that box that you removed that has the ZIVELO public terminal accessories and open that box up, remove the keys so that you can actually gain access to the enclosure. When you open the box up, you'll notice that there will be installation instructions just as a guide in case you need them at the very top of the box. And then you'll grab the plastic bag that has all the nuts and the keys. After you set the box aside, what you'll want to do is remove both sets of keys, and you will need both sets of keys because the key does actually stay with the lock when the kiosk is open. So what I'm going to do now is unlock each lock, and there are 2 locks on the back of the kiosk. You'll notice that key is stuck. It will not come out unless you lock the kiosk back up. Now that you have both keys inserted, what you're going to want to do is open the door and then find your nuts. And for this step, you're just going to need 1 nut. What you want to do is you'll want to put 1 nut on a bolt like so, and you just want to hand tighten it. You don't actually need to screw it down. And what this will enable you to do is tip the kiosk up, and I'll illustrate that just now. You want to lock the kiosk back up. Set the keys aside. You want to lift the kiosk up like so. What you want to do next is move the packaging out of your way so that you can work on actually installing those bolts in the bottom of the kiosk. So what you want to do is have some tools with you. You want to have a ratchet as well as a 1/2-inch socket with extension. And what you'll do is you'll take your bag here, and you'll notice that there are flange nuts as well as wing nuts inside the bag. Now the client can choose, if they're installing it, they can install it with the flange nuts or the wing nuts. But anytime ZIVELO representatives install a kiosk, they always have to use the flange nuts. So what I'll do is I'll grab these flange nuts, open the kiosk, and then insert the flange nuts onto the studs in the base plate. Now you'll note that there are 6 different studs, so you want to get all 6 of these flange nuts on. So the next step would be to actually tighten these flange nuts onto these studs in the base plate to adhere the base plate to the actual kiosk enclosure. And there you have it. You can now close your kiosk up, remove the keys, now you'll have to note that sometimes we will be doing software installation on the kiosk, but this essentially demonstrated just the hardware installation of the kiosk. So now that you have your keys, if there is no software, or if you're done with your software installation, you want to put the keys in your box, close your box up, and then essentially hand this box to the on-site contact, because this is their documentation as well as their keys to access the kiosk.